Hi, I'm Alex. This is Oh, That's Why, a podcast about JavaScript, finally making sense. Let's dig in. Someone told you to always use triple equals. Maybe it was a tutorial, maybe a senior developer, maybe a linter, and you probably followed that advice. Most developers do. It sounds reasonable. Triple equals is strict, double equals is loose. Strict is safer. Done. But here is the thing. If you have been following that rule without understanding it, you have been following advice you cannot explain. And rules you cannot explain have a way of failing you exactly when you need them most. Last week we covered type coercion, the rules JavaScript follows when it silently converts one type to another. Today, those rules become directly relevant, because the double equals operator does not just compare values, it coerces them first. And the triple equals operator does not coerce at all. That is the entire difference. One sentence, but the implications run through almost every comparison you write in JavaScript. Two judges, both evaluating whether two things are equal. The first judge is strict, uncompromising. When two things are brought before them, they ask two questions and only two. First, are they the same type? Second, are they the same value? If yes to both, equal. If either is no, not equal. No exceptions, no conversions. They either match or they do not. The second judge is more lenient. When two things come before them, they first look at the types. If the types already match, they judge exactly like the strict judge. But if the types are different, the lenient judge does not immediately rule against them. Instead, they try to find a way to make the comparison fair. They convert one or both values to a common type first. They are working hard to find a match. That is triple equals and double equals. Triple equals is the strict judge. Same type, same value, equal. Anything else, not equal. No conversion, no attempt. Double equals is the lenient judge. Types match, works like triple equals. Types differ, applies coercion rules to find common ground. The question everyone should ask, and almost nobody does, is when does the lenient judge's conversion produce results you did not expect? And when does that leniency actually save you work? Both questions have answers. Let's go through what actually happens. Triple equals is simple. Different types, immediately false. Same types, compare values directly. The number 5 triple equals the number 5, true. The string 5 triple equals the number 5, different types, false. End of story. The one exception worth knowing, NaN. NaN triple equals NaN is false. NaN is the only value in JavaScript that is not equal to itself. The reason is mathematical. NaN represents an undefined or unrepresentable result, and two undefined results are not necessarily the same undefined result. In practice, always use number is NaN to check for NaN. Never compare it with either equals operator. Double equals is where the rules live. When types match, it works like triple equals. When they differ, JavaScript applies the abstract equality comparison algorithm. String against a number. The string converts to a number first. String 5 double equals the number 5. The string becomes 5. 5 equals 5. True. Boolean against anything. The Boolean converts to a number first. True becomes 1. False becomes 0. Then that number goes through the comparison again. True double equals 1. True becomes 1. 1 equals 1. True. And here is the one that surprises people. True double equals the string 1. True becomes 1. String 1 becomes 1. 1 equals 1. True. But true double equals the string 2 is false. Because true becomes 1, string 2 becomes 2, and 1 does not equal 2. Null and undefined, their own special case. Null double equals undefined is true. Null double equals anything else, false. Undefined double equals anything else, false. The null and undefined pair is their own little equality island. And here is the one case where double equals is genuinely the better choice. Checking whether a value is null or undefined without caring which one it is. The null check pattern. Right value double equals null, and it returns true for both null and undefined. That is intentional. Triple equals would require you to check both separately. This is not a bug. It is the one well-known case where double equals produces cleaner, intentional code. The reason always use triple equals became common advice is not that double equals is broken. It is that the coercion rules double equals uses are not obvious, and when they surprise you, they produce bugs that are extremely difficult to trace. Classic trap. 0 double equals false is true, because when a Boolean is involved, it converts to a number first. False becomes 0. 0 equals 0. True. But 0 double equals the string false is false, because the string false is not a Boolean. It goes through to number. The string false is not a numeric string, so it becomes NaN. 0 does not equal NaN. False. Same shape of comparison. One gives true, one gives false. And the rule that produces the difference is buried 2 steps inside an algorithm most developers have never read. This is why always triple equals protects developers from a class of bugs they may never fully understand. The rule is correct for most cases, but it is still a rule you cannot explain. Empty string double equals 0 is true, and this one catches people every time. The empty string converts to a number. As we covered last week, an empty string becomes 0. 0 equals 0. True. Objects. 2 different objects are never equal under either operator unless they are literally the same object in memory. Neither operator compares object contents. If you need to compare whether 2 objects have the same shape and values, you need a dedicated deep equality check. Triple equals checks identity. Double equals checks compatibility. Once you know what each one actually does, the rule stops being a rule and starts being a choice. Use triple equals as your default. You generally want to know whether 2 things are exactly the same, not whether they could be made to look the same. Use double equals deliberately in one specific case, checking for null or undefined with a single comparison. That is the pattern the language was designed to support. And never compare anything to NaN. Use number is NaN. The companion article on Medium has the full abstract equality comparison table, every type combination, the result, and the reason. Link is in the show notes. Next week, truthy and falsy in depth. Why an empty string behaves like false, but an empty array does not. The coercion side is clear after today. Next week, we look at how it plays out in conditions specifically. I'm Alex Vega. This is Oh, That's Why. Triple equals by default. Double equals by choice. Now you know the difference. See you next week.